What's up, everybody? What is going on? It is a chill Sunday afternoon. Let me just check these comments. Blaine says, wow, we got the Mechie bombshell right before Liam goes live. Let me take a read here. That is very sad. John Mechie has been diagnosed with a form of cancer. First all, obviously, hoping he gets all of the care he needs and comes out of that very healthy. I think he said he's probably not playing football, which would make sense. Got to focus on the health first. Today we're going to be doing a stream on Underdog Fantasy. Let's add this. We're jumping right in. No time to waste today. This is we got 2 people left, by the way. This is my 109th Best Ball Mania 3. I did one late last night. Trying to save most for the stream, though. Hope everyone's having a great day. We have a no badge draft. Honestly, the badges don't mean that much to me. You can auto draft 500 teams and get a badge if you wanted to. Definitely recognize some of these names from Twitter. Pretty sure Sam's on Twitter. Don't know about the rest. The rest are pretty new names to me. Got the 105. Happy with that. Bunch of, I don't know what this means, blitz, but what's going on, guys? Excited for today's draft. If you enjoy this free content, would really help me out if you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I pulled the winner of the drafters ticket. Going to be giving away a drafters ticket for almost every stream I do on drafters. No tickets for Best Ball Mania 3. Eventually, I want to start drafting some of these FFPC teams on stream. I mean, I've got a lot of action down. They always fill at weird hours. Maybe I'll be back later today if the 4:30 p.m. Best Ball contest fills over there. The 60-second clocks are brutal. I'm not going to lie. Here's a good question, Michael. Michael asked, how big is the Kyle Rudolph signing in Tampa Bay for Brait or the rookie? Unless we get a lot of positive camp news, Michael, I don't think I'll be drafting Kyle Rudolph. I think the guy, my guess is, I'll look after my pick here, is that he's 32. He looked absolute dust last year. Easy pick here. We'll take Jamar Chase. Let's look it up. Kyle Rudolph age. Kyle Rudolph is 32, turning 33 this year. I mean, he's always been more of a blocker tight end anyways, even at his peak. Let's see what the past couple of years have looked like for Rudolph. Yeah, bunch of nothings. I mean, look, maybe he's the guy for Brady, and I'm not, maybe the biggest takeaway from the Rudolph signing is that maybe Gronk isn't coming back. Or maybe it's that they're going to piecemeal these veterans and then / rookie, and then maybe Gronk comes back for when the games actually matter towards the end of the season, towards the fantasy playoffs, is our hope. I still think Gronk's a fine 18th to 20th round dart, but ultimately, Michael, I'm guessing if I had to say there. So it's just something we're going to want to pay close attention to in camp with Tampa. But I'm also fine with Tampa just playing the offense through the wide receivers and the running backs. If he was more athletic, I'd be excited. Let's look at what his RAS profile was. Raw athletic score. Kyle Rudolph RAS. Actually has a good RAS profile. He's drafted in 2011, though. I mean, really slow, 4.83, 40, but decent RAS profile. All right, so we took Jamar Chase with the 105, of course. Pretty normal draft. We are on the eve of news. James, don't worry about it, brother. Just, you don't want to be in the draft with me. Just watch the stream and rip a draft that is softer right after this. What was I going to say? Camps are starting. We are starting to get some reports. So definitely going to have on, some of the camp goat news people, talk that through. Definitely want to have Pat on. How much Mechie did you have, Liam? Not a lot. Like, I think I had more on DK, where also, guys, I got a haircut a couple days ago. Not a single person has noticed that. Or you've noticed it and you think it's bad and just not even mentioning it. Honestly, a little insulted. How much Mechie did you have? Very little on Underdog, I would guess. Probably had more on DK, where it was just like in the round 20. It was like, oh, this is like one of the and drafters, like this is one of the last guys I suspect um is going to see the field even. But Mechie was gonna play the slot, so probably like a slight bump to give me Debo. Happy about this. Mechie was going to play the slot, so probably even further bump up for Nico Collins, probably a little bit bump up for Brevin Jordan, the tight end. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Houston sign a Cole Beasley, like veteran slot wide receiver. Like a couple years ago, they signed uh Amendola like in September. So something like that, like a Cole Beasley, whatever. What does the lid update mean? I'm not sure. Blaine asks about are you ever considering Eckler? I just have enough Eckler at the 106 that there's no reason to take him at the 105 because you rarely get one of the top 3 wide receivers get there. Like it's not like you're getting different by taking Eckler at the 105 versus the 106. Also, Trey White is a great zone corner. Like that doesn't scare me for Jamar Chase. And White um White is where are you from, brother? Are you from Ireland or Europe? I love the term lid. um yeah, zone corners against guys who are really fast, like that's not a big scare for me. Wow. Um gets kind of gross with this pick. Wanted AJ Brown. I don't have that much Michael Pittman, so I think I might just let him auto to my team. I have a lot of Mike Williams at a cheaper cost. And I don't know, I almost took Kamara there too, but happy to have Pittman. I had a ton of Pittman last year. I don't have as much this year. Ireland. Appreciate you, man. I definitely want to visit Ireland soon. So we are the only 0 RB in this draft. That's what you like to see when you're going to go 0 RB. I mean, Cisco kid here pretty much, like 2 wideouts and a running back. That's close enough. But if you're going 0 RB and you see that half your draft is, that's not usually where you want to be. James, I think it depends on your scoring settings, but just obviously talking market wise, the answer is Hollywood. But really depends on how your draft usually do people go RB heavy? Do they go wide receiver heavy? How many wide receivers do you need to start? If you only need to start 2 wide receivers versus 3, that's a big difference. I really like Hollywood this year. I like Javante as well. So can't go wrong with that. Don't really know what this means. RHC Proc 1234. Don't know who I'm acting like I don't know, but hopefully you are first hater of our channel. That's how you know you're doing good things. If so, I welcome you to the channel. DY says he's got 40% Nico Collins. That's nice. So pretty sharp room. Most people are building hero running back. It's to be expected on a slow Sunday afternoon. Sometimes these weekend afternoon drafts can be not so sharp. Farsi says, go Bills. Go Bills. Cute dog. And yeah, Pittman is like, I mean, Pittman used to go in the 60s. I don't really know what happened for him to go so high, but sets up a cheap stack option. Should have a huge target share. Matt Ryan's going to be better than Carson Wentz was. Thoughts on Crocs? Big fan. We got him on right now. Yeah. I'm not supposed to wear my Crocs too much. It's not good for my feet, but we sneak them in here every once in a while. Okay, we are coming up on the clock. I like the options left for me. Okay, so this guy, clearly not hip to the game, took Allen Robinson when he has Josh Allen. What pick number are we at? 44. Obviously, Gabriel Davis is our guy. Breece Hall is like the last running back I really like, but honestly, I was hoping this guy would be sharp, and then I'd have to settle for Hall, but fuck it. We're going full zero running back, getting our brand dude, starting with 4 wide receivers, 4 grown-ass men. How do I think about... Uh-oh. I don't know if my internet slowed there or something. How do you think about your exposures? One big portfolio, or do you treat them differently on each site? I would say my exposures overlap a lot in the lottery formats sites, but we should be thinking about them probably site independent, but one big portfolio kind of works too. Like, I don't think it's that wrong to say I'm going to draft Jarvis Landry only on DraftKings and Drafters and not on Underdog. Like, things like that where players are probably better on half-point PPR versus PPR. With zero running back teams, do you think you can wait to the 5th or 6th round to get your first running back if you have to? Chance, I think you can wait much longer than that if you want. For example, like, I'm not going to force a running back. If I wanted to double up elite quarterback and tight end, I'll happily do that and then just jam volume at running back. Okay. We're going to get George Kittle. David Montgomery, he's just not sexy. Elite tight end, we got 2 pieces of San Francisco. Happily take Trey Lance if he makes it to us. We're not going to reach for him, though. If someone really wants to get Trey Lance, they can have him. I'm never forcing the quarterback, almost always. Did I do any of the $3 Pomeranians? No, I did not. I did 0 of those. I left those for the field. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just not going to play a best ball contest as a $5,000 first prize. I don't want to, I understand why people really like it. It was a 0 rate contest, but it's not where I will spend my time. We're trying to navigate the largest fields, the thinnest of edges. And, I don't even think it would be good for my brand to ship that, And I definitely, I'm not that hungry for action that I was going to 150 auto draft them or anything like that. I just enjoyed my Saturday. Where will Debo's ADP be if he signs a massive contract? I don't think the contract is going to affect where he lands. Because if he goes to like a more pass heavy team, his ADP is going to rise. Um, I think it's just people are probably a little rightfully, just wondering how the volume is going to shake out. And, people like IU, people like Kittle, people are worried that Lance is going to get there on the ground. So I think that's why Debo falls. Mookie, do not ever try to correct my vocab for such boring nuances. The people who are like, hey, this is hero versus this, like, come on. We're just, I view my teams for how much money can they make me. I don't really care what you call them. Checking out the room. Couple robust RBers. Dad grills. I would say it's an on-brand dad move to jam running backs. Easy breezy getting his running back fill as well. But they both did 2 wideouts, so it works. So yeah, like I think a mistake people who try zero running back do is they're like, okay, now I need to get a running back here. Where if there's a running back I like here, I will take them. But really, you're saying that running back is going to be better than these running backs, which is a thin bet to me. It's more like, like if J.K. Dobbins makes it to me, sure. But again, we're gonna let just the room fall to us. Oh, okay, Mookie. My bad, Mookie. My bad. We're a little fiery on the weekend. Let's see here. Okay, so we are at pick number 68. Yeah, I think grabbing J.K. Dobbins makes a lot of sense. Not gonna, I don't. If Burrow makes it back to me, great. But Dobbins is the guy I want to be betting on talent. I don't really care if he misses 4 weeks to start the season or something. And he's obviously much better on Underdog. Do I play any season leagues? Historically, not too many, but I'm firing some main event teams, some football guy ones. I'm the commissioner of my home league. Got nearly 40 of you with me on this Sunday. Gave everybody zero notice. Literally tweeted it out 10 minutes ago. Jumped in. Appreciate you guys. Really, really helps me do these. Like I would not be doing these if I could not interact with the chat. Just talking to myself. I just don't think I'd be grinding like that. Yeah, Nick, this makes sense. I don't think I'd be grabbing another running back if JK wasn't there, but I see the upside with JK. Wow, we got a Kadarius Toney fan here. Yeah, the two holes getting different this draft, forcing the quarterbacks too. Double elite quarterback. So this is we are at pick number 77. We are not going to get Sisgood took. Nope, he has Higgins. So we're not going to get another shot at Lance. So I will grab him here. I would rather kind of grab some of these wide receivers, but I don't have many teams with Debo and Kittle on them. And so when I do have those teams with like Kittle in the 5th should just probably not be a thing. And so getting with Trey Lance, I really like that. And yeah, I guess we started zero running back, but we kind of shifted to more of a balanced build with us only needing one more starting spot. Gives us a lot of flexibility, and I also like, like I don't care about bye weeks, but all else equal, I enjoy that my wide receivers don't overlap any of their bye weeks. How much Khalil Shakir tape have you watched? Very little. Wouldn't shock me if he takes that role. I made a tweet earlier that the Bills slot, I don't think people realize how much competition there is for the slot. It's not only McKenzie and Crowder, it's also OJ Howard and James Cook. and then obviously Shakir. Let me see. I missed a couple of questions. Let me get back there. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't think you can like outlaw things because with like you can't just say that with the ADPs. Like if you have no exposure to earlier gauge, it's irrelevant that his price has gone up a little bit. And again, you can take risers, you can take fallers. If you're taking risers and you want to still try to maximize your upside, just get some guys that have fallen, right? So if you take Gabriel Davis, a riser, maybe you try to add a faller such as Michael Thomas or DK Metcalf. And that way the contexture of your team is similar. Like I think a lot of mistake a lot of people make right now is they share these teams and they're like, "Oh, look at this team and look at how much like look at where I got these players at their ADP." Like look at where I got Gabriel Davis in the 60s. And that's all they're looking at. But when I look at the whole team, I'm like, "Yeah, I can make that team right now because all the running backs you got actually fell." So evaluating your old teams and whether they are unique is you have to consider the whole draft landscape, not just a single pick. Nick says, I don't consider JK dead zone back. He has massive upside. Makes sense. Yeah, the dead zone, maybe the dead zone's gone. I don't even know. Jesus, Blitz. Relax. Kittle over Waller. I've been Waller over Kittle, but it is really splitting hairs. Like I don't want to have a much higher bag on Waller than Kittle. I also think if we're going to get real in the weeds here, a take I have is that sometimes the way you beat the 49ers is through the slot. I think back to like the Cole Beasley game where he had like 30 fantasy points against the 49ers 2 years ago. Now that was a while ago, but maybe it will be Waller doing slot type shit. Maybe it will be Renfro doing slot type shit. Maybe Adams gets in the slot there. Gonna make my pick, then I'll get back to some of those other questions. Sure, force my hand. I'll add to my Michael Thomas bags well after ADP. Yeah, like last year I had no Michael Thomas. This year I've just decided I'm going to be betting on that uncertainty and upside. I think he's 29. He's 29. The team, like the Saints should pass a lot more. And yeah, I like Michael Thomas. I know some people don't, but gotta have your own takes. Owen asks, how do you think the strategy changes for season long? Sometimes it's hard watching so much basketball content, but then your main league is season long. I mean, there's a lot there to answer in just a short prompt, but like obviously I can give you some examples. I think is best to do through player takes. Like Devin Singletary, I like more in best ball than season long. The reason being is I don't want to have to be choosing. I don't want to have to be predicting. Oh, a pass heavy team, the Bills are not going to pass that much this week. Obviously, like some of these other guys, these boom bust guys, MVS, like obviously they're better for best ball where you don't have to predict when the spike weeks are going to come. You just add them to your team. Like I would take that to tight end as well. Okay, we're going to add one of these running backs. Really tough between Hunt and Edmonds. More of an Edmonds guy, but Hunt is probably more talented of a player. I'm going to do Edmonds because should get a little bit more pass game work, and I'm able to easily add some New England options for week 17. Then I'm going to want to add Washington stack. So thin choice. That's a randomizer flip a coin type scenario, which honestly, if you are someone who like me there, Like, instead of just making the choice between Edmonds and Hunt, I don't think it's wrong. Like, sometimes you do this in poker. If you just wanted to have like a random number generator, like on a tab or whatever, or even just like flipping a coin, you could do that to get different, to randomize, if you will. What do I think about Breida as an 18th round pick? I don't think I'm going to say many 18th round picks are bad. Um, a couple other sharp comments here. I'm excited for camp news. Drop some of the in the chat. Tell me some of the things you're most looking forward to learn about camp, whether it's a um, breakdown of a specific team's wide receiver core, whatnot. Tell me some of the things you're most looking forward to learning about in camp this year. And also say, how do you learn about, drop that in the chat. How do you learn about camp news? Tell it, whether that's like a Twitter account that you rely on or a website or whatever you do. Kind of confused on this question. If you could explain that more. DUIs, how much mass Leonard Fournette has accumulated is, I think, the better word. Just Leonard Fournette's gravity, just pulling weight off of other players, adding to himself. Someone make that video. Also, if you are a video editor and you're watching my channel, reach out. Looking for one of those to take the channel to the next level. Michael mentions he looking forward to learning about the Pats passing attack. Does Ronald Jones take the job from Clyde early or just eventually? Certain beat reporters. Yeah, I need to learn. I'm not familiar with the beat reporter landscape. Like, I'm familiar with the Bills ones, but I wouldn't say I'm knowledgeable about the whole field of beat reporters. James Cook goes, would have liked to add him. Pretty easy here. I've been really adding to my I just had 0 Ken Walker when he was expensive, so it's a no-brainer for my portfolio to add to him here. Would have liked Rachaad White to come back to me there, but I mean, Ken Walker, second highest running back drafted in the class. Can add some Jets guys late. High upside swing, in my opinion. Chris, relax, brother. Yeah, I don't know about who this Omar Kelly guy is. I've seen some of his work. Not good. Blaine, reach out, man. Let's see what yeah, so this guy really just reached on Tony, but nothing that unusual after that. Got a really high Philly exposure here. We're going to take Christian Watson. Pretty easy. I would have taken Madison if Watson didn't make it back to me, but rookie, high upside, spike week dude. It seems like fantasy Twitter is fudding him a little bit, but the path is there. Like, he's a guy, you get one report of a long bomb, he's going to jump a couple rounds. Yeah, I think Jay White, I think in general, if you're trying to get different through quarterback, that's the wrong position to do it through. It's just really thin. Like, you could just do it with a wide receiver, a running back, a tight end. There's no reason to do it at quarterback. But do you? ultimately, if you think it's good. Yeah, man. Like in one hand, I want to just add a bunch of Tannehill late. Like he should have whatever 17-point per game floor, hit a couple rushing touchdowns. On the other hand, I want to have some Malik Willis. Like he's super high upside if he whatever. Chris, brother, I think Zach Wilson can be memed out of the league this year if he falls on his face again. What are my thoughts on that backfield? Is one of the running backs is going to smash in Miami. Might as well draft the guy who has has the most contract money in the contract, is a pass catcher, and suits the zone blocking scheme. And you're betting against older non-pass catching backs in Mostert and Michelle. So far we have a 1-3-6-1 build with Kittle. Kittle is just like so boom bust sometimes that I almost want to be going 3 tight end quite a bit with him, with me not having a second elite guy with him. So that's something on my like honestly at wide receiver, I'd be happy starting here. Or I mean stopping here. The only thing is I do have 3 dudes with a week 14 bye. So maybe I add one more, but looking like a max 7 wide receiver type of team potentially. Um, yep, some guys I like at some positions I need are left. Looking at my team compared to teams earlier in the draft, I have some risers in Davis and Pittman. Um, and the rest, wow, Jameis going really early here. Interesting. We're gonna grab Henderson because it is a huge tier break for me after Henderson. Happy to have. He's a name I've been hammering lately. Just like probably drawing so live to really finish better than all of these running backs. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So the risers I have on my team are Pittman and Gabe Davis. The fallers on my team are pretty much the rest of the team. Or Trey Lance, another riser. The fallers are J.K. Dobbins, Ken Walker, Deebo Samuel, somewhat, Michael Thomas, Watson, and Kittle. Like those are guys who you couldn't get at these ADPs earlier in the season. So a good mix there, and kind of falling into what I was talking about before. Yeah, I'm not sure why Henderson's so low. I think it was the drafting of like they drafted a running back in the 3rd round or whatever, but that guy had like some of the worst combine ever. And he what was I gonna say? Oh, and he like broke his foot or something. Like he should be back soon, but Kyron Williams or whatever. Yeah, Chris, this is fine. I think Edmonds has the best chance to smash, but I think Sony's too cheap. Yeah, it's fine. Draft him. You can, and that's totally a backfield. I think is fine to draft 2 on the same team if you wanted to. So watching our friends over at Spike Week do a drafters, and someone asked a question about handcuffing on drafters, and I gave my thoughts there, and I just want to share my thoughts here that handcuffing, I think, is much worse on a site like Drafters than on Underdog because part of the bull case for um, handcuffing your running back is that you can sneak in a low owned running back um, by through handcuffing, which is not a thing for Drafters. It's just trying to be safe. Albert O. We're gonna buy the dip there. Welcome to the team. Two by week 9 guys, but really high upside with these dudes. We got some week 17 correlation with Chase and Davis. Some options to get there through our other positions, but nothing we need to force. So, like the upside of the squad I've built so far. Like Henderson, maybe at worst. Like in one case, the Rams have done nothing but. I think I need to move this over here. Yeah, I don't need to see myself. This way, I'm looking at you guys. Oh, but I can't see what you guys see. Huh. Whatever. That's something for me to play with later. In one case, the Rams play. In one case, the Rams play like all of their in the past. Their running backs play like 90% of the snaps. Like a single running back does. But in the other case, Henderson was like the pass catching guy in the Super Bowl and was good last year. And Akers is coming off injury. Yada yada yada. Probably want to get one of these 3 quarterbacks and be done with 2. Yeah, Kyron is like theoretic, but I think like less athletic maybe. I don't know. I don't know about him. His broken foot. Like I was taking some stabs at him earlier, but again, like the volume of drafts I've done before any camp news is out. You know, like I have opinions, but I think we should be quick to drop some opinions if the writing's on the wall. Yeah, man, Mechie has cancer. That's terrible. Really hoping, most importantly, that he gets healthy. Went to the farmer's market this morning, got myself some empanadas. My favorite food. So the spinach and cheese ones. Oof. Don't know where this came from. Someone asked earlier about, I think Dad is just auto drafting, is my guess. Yeah, I think he's auto drafting. Or maybe not. But I think like it didn't make any sense for him to take Matt Ryan there, who I would have taken to go with my Pittman. But we are cool on waiting. A lot of quarterbacks for these other people, so I think I'm going to take Noah Fant. Just a really athletic guy. And a little season-long correlation there. I would have taken Mac if not. How many quarterbacks does this dude have? Yeah, like hard to predict the room when people are doing this. But in general, like I think we should be building that way. Like we should trust that people are going to draft good and let the quarterback fall back to us. Because you guys saw me scanning. I was kind of scanning for quarterbacks, and I noticed a bunch of high quarterbacks. I was like, oh, it would be pretty unsharp for them to force a quarterback. But you know, I should have seen that this guy has like 25 running backs. Yeah. Like the 3 wide receiver team was a lock to add another quarterback. We'll get to this question in a little bit. Blaine, pick number 173. I think I'm going to take Zach. Correlates with the Seattle game stack week 17. Might force a late jet, but happy to just roll with naked Zach, I think. And with him adding muscle and being mobile, like he's live to do it on the ground. DJ Chark, I think that's a good option for the Hard Knocks boost. It's probably like Amon Ra. If Amon Ra is just that guy from last season in camp, like that's pretty clear. Or it could be a ton of the Lions dudes. I don't know. Jamal Williams makes a lot of sense because he's like a really easy to like guy. I'm good on taking Watson, Eric. So we have 3 more picks. Going to add some running backs. Going to add at least one more wide receiver. I could see this team going 2, 6, 7, 3. And yeah, like this is a fun tight end. Like they're all just, like at worst, Albert O is still going to be a spike week guy. I think. Like at worst, Noah Fant's going to give you a couple spike weeks. So just jamming spike week tight ends together. I just don't care about. I'm just going to let it sort out because the quarterback's just not a position that separates. It's not like I'm not that invested in the news. I'm just going to let the news come out for him. And then maybe I'll add some if he gets no suspension or whatever. But like, I don't know. It's just so unlikely that a quarterback is going to score 40 points week 17 and the rest of the field of quarterbacks puts up like 20 points. That's a case where he separates. Like you just don't see that often. Can I take Jerick McKinnon here? We got some Denver guys, so a little week 17 mini there. And McKinnon was good to end last year. Should be the pass catching guy. I've always liked him. Yeah, this makes sense, Jeff. Even without, they trade they're gonna Pete Carroll in a bad Seattle season is going to want Fant to look like a W as part of the trade. And just athletic freak. Like his Raz profile, let me look this up. It might be like one of the top in the Fant Raz. His Raz is a 9.89. This ranked when he was drafted. This ranked 10 out of 8. Number 10 in the whole database. Yeah, again, Eric, the quarterback position just not that important. Like drafting Watson to advance. That's not in my vocabulary. We got 2 more positions here. Um Giannis is a pretty big slam dunk. Helps me hedge a little bit against the Hunt versus, like, since Edmonds and Hunt go right next to each other. We'll take Dearness here. And then we'll take our favorite wide receiver left in round 18. But yeah, so what I was saying there since Kareem Hunt and Edmonds go right next to each other, since I took Edmonds, Johnson is leverage off of Hunt if their ADPs are so close together. Yeah, Drew Lock likes fan. Like Drew Lock is probably bad, but like he should have some spike weeks. So yeah, we're just not going to get a Jets guy probably. I mean, I could take what's his face. I could take Braxton Berrios, or I could take Tyler Conklin and go 4 tight end, get real crazy in these streets. Uzuma is with a boot, but with me having 3 guys with week 14 buys, I think I might add a wideout. Why not? Mookie, I think I said this at the beginning of the show. I don't remember the exact number. It's probably 109. I'm not saving my BBM threes to get the softest action. Ultimately going to be using them for streaming. So like if it works out and I have some late August, great. But I'm not stressed if I don't get the softest drafters with me / most info. I can get it on different platforms, whatever. Yeah, there's something like this, MTM. Again, guys, if you are listening to this, 50% of you are not subscribed. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Got to be subscribed to be entered into these giveaways I do. And you can use promo code ChessLiam on drafters.com or Underdog Fantasy to get set up. Ooh, Taysom sitting there. We need a wide receiver. I think I'm going to grab James Washington. But Quez Watkins does correlate with Michael Thomas. I view them similarly. I think James should be stronger to start the year. We'll go with James today. I have very little Washington, and there's some years where he's just a smash guy. Okay, so we ended this one. If you were in this draft with me, let me know. We'll take a look. But we ended with a 2-6-7-3. We got Lance and Wilson as our quarterbacks. We have Dobbins, Edmonds, Ken Walker, Henderson, McKinnon, and Dearness as our running backs. Fun group of running backs. Our wide receiver is another fun group. Chase, Samuel, Pittman, Davis, Thomas, Watson, Washington. And I like our tight end group too. Kittle, Albert O, and Noah Fant. So you could, like, when your weakest position is arguably quarterback 2 and wide receiver 7, that you feel good about your team, I feel like I have the strength at all the skill positions to not only advance but do well in the playoffs / the finals if we make it there. And obviously, we have an elite quarterback in Lance and a guy who should be exciting. Sunday stream 7:24. I really wish we could look at the date that these were drafted, so you don't even have to waste that on your naming. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this impromptu stream. Last question before we go. No, pretty much no. A lot of people obsessed about the week 16. You're only in a 16-person group, so for me, if I have week 16 correlation, it's a happy accident. It is not something I'm prioritizing or even tie breaking over. Thank you, Michael. Loves the running backs for me not taking my first until the 6th. Guys, we'll have plenty of streams. I think we're going to have on Peter Jennings next week. Going to have on Justin McMahon, who auto drafts his portfolio each year. So should be an exciting conversation. Make sure you make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of these streams live, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Peace.